Good evening, everyone. This is O'Neil Catnell. I'm out of Jacksonville, Florida. I'm extremely excited to welcome you guys to our team training call this Sunday evening, ladies and gentlemen. I often say that 80% of success is showing up, and especially at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on a Sunday evening, shows that you're committed to your success. And we provide an infrastructure of support. Um, Testimonial training and information to ensure that you are equipped for success with what I deem as the most significant cause driven opportunity of 2019 being with Synergy Worldwide and the Legacy Movement, ladies and gentlemen. So, definitely thank you for being in attendance. Thank you for being on the call. Make sure to have pen and paper to take great notes as we're going to go over a couple of things on this call to help everyone rise to the next level, you know, and really be in position to take advantage of the market share that is available to us. Okay, so lots of great things. We're in the month of October. We are beginning the fourth quarter of the year, finishing out the year. So what a great time to be in business. What a great time to be a part of something. Because if you um, let me take a step back. It's a great time to be a part of what I deem as the most significant cause-driven opportunity. And as you reflect on the year, how far we've come and how much you've grown, you'll see your level of commitment, ladies and gentlemen, those who are on the phone, rise to another level. You're seeing your focus. You're seeing that you are equipping yourself to become successful, and results are on its way. That's what this is about. And we're going to talk about a few things tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to help you, okay, rise to the next level. We're going to talk about etiquette, okay? Now, what etiquette is just your code of behavior. There's a code of behavior. There's a level of professionalism, how we conduct ourselves in different aspects of building this business. When we are, with our team members, how we are on the phones, webinars, events, and so forth. There's a level of conduct, okay, of among our members of a particular profession or a group. How we conduct ourselves. We are professionals. So we're going to go over some of these etiquette, and hopefully it will give you greater light and help you raise the level and the bar of your business to the next level. And you'll often see, once you start to apply certain information that I'm going to give you, you're going to see not just your business increase, but also the quality, and you'll see the quality of the people, and you'll see people transform too. Because remember, we're leading the pack. What we do reflects on what the team do. We're a mirror, right? So oftentimes the customers and the business partners that you have often reflects what they learn from us, how to conduct ourselves in the business. So let's get started with that, because we have some other material, exciting news that we're going to announce also on this call. Okay, so when it comes to etiquette, ladies and gentlemen, you know appearance matters. you know People see with their eyes first, then hear with their ears second. So oftentimes you're always being evaluated by other people. And when you are representing yourself with this opportunity, appearance matter. So you know another thing to understand is, when you are part of something significant and you're bringing a profession to someone, or you're bringing a product or a service to someone, they're looking at you first. So you know as a professional, how you groom yourself, when you're presenting your business, matters, because they're evaluating the first thing they see, and how you represent yourself is important, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so always, be cognizant of how well you're groomed. you know I'm not going to tell you how to dress and so forth, because different situations, sometimes we're out and about, and and different environment requires different level of presentation. But always be remembered that, make sure that you know your appearance, is up to par. You know what I mean? Because people evaluate that. Now, another important thing is, when you're working with your success line, okay, it's very, very important for you guys to understand a couple of things. Okay. How there's an etiquette because people do not know what they don't know, but they learn a lot of information from you about, people in your success line or your upline or so forth. So, if you present and communicate in a certain professional level, then you will get them to take a look at this at a more objective um, point of view and reference, and not from a casual perspective. So understand that once you're in business, you're sharing the opportunity with people, you're raising your level now to more of a professional standard. There's that personal level when you're communicating with people, but once you turn the hat on in terms of business, they have to see that now you're serious, you're doing business, and there's a separation between the two, which is very, very important. So we're going to break this up into different things now and in different categories. Okay, so we can all understand the different level of etiquette that we can raise the bar and really, really, bring a high level of professionalism to our business. So, for example, conference calls. Let's talk about those since we're on a conference call. Customarily, the professional etiquette is that business members always get on the call early. It's always you try to get on the call at least 3 to 5 minutes prior to the call. Okay. And also, when you arrive on the call, announce yourself in a professional manner. Okay. Do not wait for the host to call upon you. Announce yourself, because you want the other people, maybe guests, hear you come on, and by you announcing yourself in a professional manner, state your name, where you're from, you know and in a professional level, it also helps the presenter to set the bar for the conference call. Also, you know for those who are in a noisy area, learn to mute your phone. Oftentimes we talk about preparation. If you're prepared, you'll be able to conduct yourself also in a professional manner. Learn to mute your phones and your devices to cut down the background noise, because background noise ruin the integrity and diminish the level of professionalism on the call. The beautiful thing is we don't have 100 people on the calls yet where it's a lot of feedback and so forth, but that will magnify if we don't start to do it that way. So once we start to conduct ourselves, when we have that magnitude of people on our calls, then it will sound a lot more professional, because we're preparing ourselves for the future. We're preparing ourselves for the growth that's happening, but it starts right now. So also limit your chatter between people on the phone. Sometimes we will three-way in probably a guest on the call, or we invite someone on the call, and then we as business partners will say, is John on the call? I have a guest. John, are you on the call? Those kind of chatter, you have to cut it out, because that ruins the level of professionalism. You wait until the call is done, call the individual and find out if they were on the call, or request from the host who has a call log to see if there was a person on the call with such and such number, then follow up with the individual. That's the professional way to do it. Sometimes we get lost in the excitement of it, but understand that this is a profession that we're trying to raise the level of professionalism, and you're not aware of who else may be on the call. We may have a CEO, we may have a stay-at-home mom, we may have a politician. You do not know who may be on the call. So the professionalism on the call is very, very important. So we got to start practicing and set that bar from now on. Okay. And also, when the call is over, and everyone is saying good night, always chime that in, because when people hear the amount of people saying good night, it also magnifies the impression of the call. Okay, which is very, very important. So we play team on that aspect. So with conference calls. Okay. Let's talk about three-way call in terms of etiquette with three-way calls. Okay. Oftentimes, practice is going to become perfect. We're not good until we get better, until we get more and more repetition on the doing three-way calls. Okay. But on a three-way call, always remember we talk about edification, right? How you build up the presenter. Okay. And also practice how, okay, once you introduce the presenter on a three-way call, you keep your mouth quiet, because you just build up this person as somebody that you look up to, respect, and so forth. And if you talk over them, you just diminish what you build up. If you interject, you just diminish what you build up. And remember, the person that you're introducing is evaluating everybody on that call. Okay. Now, some you can get away with, some you don't, but guess what? Practice becomes perfect, because when you have that high level, professional on that call, then you want to make sure that, it's a routine for you. Okay. And you wait for the presenter. If you're the presenter, whether it's myself or somebody else, wait for them to turn the call back over to you. And the presenter is supposed to also edify you, meaning the person that brought the prospect on, the expert is in turn to re-edify those. So build you up in the eyes of the prospect. Okay. Once they turn the call over to you, this is where sometimes we make classic mistakes. We feel as if sometimes the presenter left out things. And what we have to understand is on that call is often where they're inviting you to something, okay, making a request to try products or go to the website. But that's not the call to follow up with other information. It gives you the venue to follow up with another call that you can say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Such and such wanted me to share some additional information as I follow up with you that wasn't discussed on the call, so it can help you make your decision. Okay, that's a professional way of doing that with a follow-up call. Because once the presenter did their job, okay, do not go behind them and diminish the value that you put into it. Okay, and that's very, very important for you to understand. Also, okay, reiterate the points that the presenter discussed on the call, the three-way call, and also whatever event they invited them to, call, sit down, or website or recording. Reiterate that and set a time, and quickly after you reiterate that, the commitment, conclude the call and set up for a follow-up. So remember that type of etiquette. We can get into finer points of details, but I want you to have a general summary tonight of basic etiquette and professional conduct and behavior. Okay. Now, when we have meetings, and when we start to have hotel meetings, there's a certain way that you have to conduct yourself in hotel meetings. Typically, we try to get the room ready half an hour prior to, okay? And also so that we can start, getting everyone positioned for the presentation. And oftentimes what we make a mistake in doing is the public events like a hotel meeting is designed to provide the information. So why would you as a professional, if you're bringing someone to hear the information, start to go over the information with others? Instead, what you should do is introduce the individual, okay, to the presenter, to the leader that's there, and perhaps other leaders there. And in turn, what this does is it starts the basic decorum, the basic, connection. And once the presentation is over, ask them if they have questions and bring them back up to the presenter so that the presenter can answer their questions and not yourself, because the presenter is there to close the people for you. Okay. And and that's how you want to do that. So you want to diminish some of the chatter, because oftentimes we feel as if you know, we have to provide people with all this information, and what we're doing is we're selling too hard. Okay, and it is a turn off, and it's not a good way to conduct yourself. Plus also it deteriorates what we're trying to build up, the atmosphere of professionalism. And also within, whenever we have meetings at the hotel, you know, you can always bring your guests to other people, other members in the team, and introduce them, and the team members is supposed to elevate and build these people up and say, hey, listen, you know, if you're with Mr. Jordan, oh man, you're with a great person here. He definitely thought well enough of you to bring you here. You know, consider yourself, you know, blessed to be with him, and I am excited that you're here with this person. Always edify the person that brings them. And what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, is we're building up our profession, our business. We're building up the team, and we're creating an atmosphere where people are supporting each other, okay, and not feeling as if you have to, you know, prevent people from talking to other people because you're not sure of the information that they're sharing with them and so forth. It's a venue where people get exposed not just to the information, but also the environment, the team philosophy, and the quality of people that we are partnered with. So when we get to the hotel segments, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you conduct yourself. You know, always try to come early. We often say the best way to get guests to a hotel meeting is to pick them up in the car and get them there. If sometimes that doesn't happen, some people come on their own. Always try and get there before your guests, because so that you can introduce your guests, bring them. And oftentimes in hotel meetings, what people do is they seat their guests down and they go sit in the back room so they can talk with their friends and so forth. That is some of the greatest mistakes people ever make. When you have a guest at a meeting, you sit next to your guest because they're the most important person in the room for you, and they need to feel important because this is something new. It's a new atmosphere for them. They're perhaps meeting people for the first time, and the tone that you set, you know, makes them feel. How would you feel? Someone invited you, sit you up front, and then go sit in the back, you know, with somebody else. You know what I mean? So you want to give them that air that you know, you value them being there, and also, you know, that you are respecting their time. Okay, so it's often, you know, not understood the level of how we should conduct ourselves, and sometimes we make these honest mistakes, and I'm telling you, I've made those mistakes in the past too, but that's how you learn, right? And then also, you know, when we're doing webinars, okay, um same conduct as when you're on a conference call, okay? Same conduct as when you're in a meeting, same etiquette, you know, the level of professionalism. Announce yourself. Make sure if you're not presentable, do not turn your video on, okay? Make sure, you know, that if you need to mute yourself out, you know, mute yourself out. Prepare, learn how to do these things, ladies and gentlemen, so that, you know, the people that you introduce, guess what happens if you're put into that environment, you're going to conduct yourself as how the environment is. Think about it. You know, people mirror behavior. So if they're put into an environment where people conduct themselves a certain way, people are going to follow suit. So if we want that high level of professionalism, it starts with us setting that bar. Okay. And also remember the formats of testimonials. There's a format to how we, you know, we give testimonials. There's also a format to how we speak on the call. You know, greet the host and the presenter with their salutation, Miss or Mr. You know, it's a reason, because we are elevating the level and the professionalism and the conduct of how we conduct ourselves on, you know, our events. Because remember, people are evaluating everything, whether it's a team call, whether it's just a casual phone call, a three-way call, or whether it's a sit down. You know, that's when you turn the etiquette on. Okay, we're in our personal space and there's no business, then you can turn that off. But always remember that people are evaluating us, always evaluating. They're looking at your shoes, they're looking at your belt, they're looking at your hair, they're looking at your makeup, they look at everything because they're always measuring themselves. So presentation is important. How you present yourself, you look, how you conduct yourself, how we conduct ourselves as team members one to another and respect each other and elevate each other. Okay, doesn't matter what you personally think or believe about someone when you're in business mode. Okay, everyone conducts themselves to a high level of professionalism. So as we go on, what will happen is as we introduce others into this environment, everybody will conduct themselves in a similar manner, which is very, very important and which will help us grow and also manage our business better and also impress people to where they will recommend. Say, one thing I can tell you, these are very professional people. Okay, they conduct themselves in a very professional manner, and I really appreciate that and respect that. So just remember, etiquette matters. Practice becomes perfect. You know, your business comes first. So let's summarize and go back over, right? Conference calls, always try to arrive early. Announce yourself. Okay, sometimes it's tricky doing that. Practice becomes perfect. If someone comes behind you, or sometimes people try to announce all at the same time, just pause, okay, and then allow somebody else, and then follow behind. Okay, always remember on three-way calls. Okay, salutation, edification. Okay, be quiet until the presenter is finished speaking. Okay, do not interject. Okay, also wait for the presenter. Presenter is supposed to re-edify you. Okay, reiterate the bullet points on the call. Okay, and then set it up for a follow-up so that if need be and you feel the need to provide other information, you set that up so it's all conducted smoothly and so forth, and gives you the opportunity to do a secondary call. When we start to do our local hotel meetings, okay, always arrive 20 minutes early. Okay, make sure you get there before your guests so you can introduce them to the speaker or to other members of the team, so the team members can also build them up, welcome them, and edify you. Okay, and during the meeting, always sit next to your guest, the most important persons in the room. Make sure that they get their sample material, okay, that they need. And also, if there's any questions, tell them beforehand that if you have questions, write it down, and at the end we'll go up to the host, the presenter, and we'll get your questions answered and guide them up there. Okay, it is not a place for us to have a social club. After the meeting is conducted and all the guests are gone, then you can socialize, but during that time it is a carefully organized means of building your business, ladies and gentlemen. All aspect of it, from when you get there, okay, in between, to when the presentation starts, okay, to when it ends, to when you're following up with the presenter and get the question asked until the guests leave. It's all a sequential manner of professionalism and how we conduct ourselves. Also, if there's question, when the presenter is presenting, play team. Okay, don't be afraid to when they're highlighting the main points of the business, or points that he or she is elaborating on, to reaffirm it. Okay, or if they have corny jokes, laugh at the jokes. Okay, because it builds up the atmosphere and it helps to close the individuals that next to you in those presentations. Okay, so just wanted to give you guys those little key bullet points on etiquette. Now, as you're writing these things down, you may have other questions. Feel free, okay, to call me. I'm going to open up the call in a little bit, and you can also ask questions about etiquette if you want me to go a little bit more detailed. So, couple of announcements, okay, that I want to share. This Thursday, we're sending out a flyer for a call this Thursday. Synergy has a major announcement They're going to be introducing you to the new Vice President of North America for Synergy Worldwide this Thursday, October 10th, okay, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mr. Dan Higginson will be on the call. Bart Woodcook will be on the call. David Davidson will be on the call. Myself will be on the call, where we're going to introduce and announce the new VP of North America and also new incentives for us to build a business. They're going to be paying out bonuses offered by the company to help get North America jump started and help us make some money for the Christmas season and also start to really ramp up for the market share that is available to us. So I'm going to send that flyer out. If you're on the webinar right now, you should see it up on the screen. And you know, this is recorded, so it's going to be there, but I'm going to also send the flyer out to each and everyone that's on this call so you can have it. Please share it with everyone, your customers, your team members, people in the Caribbean, all over. We're going to connect everyone, and people who are past and present that are not active, you know, they need to hear the updates and information that's going to be released on this call. It's really jump starting Synergy Worldwide and taking us to a whole nother level. So it's such an important thing. So people who haven't been active for a while, call them up, send them the information, say, hey, listen, major updates you need to hear. You know, I'm not sure where you are right now or what you're doing, but you need to hear what's going on. Plug in, get them on this call. It's very, very important. We're going to market it to a T because he is, his name is Mr. Eddie Silcock. Eddie Silcock, and he is serious about bringing Synergy to the next $1 billion a year company and focusing on North America. They hired him specifically to get Synergy Worldwide to where we will grow to where we're doing over $100,000 in business every month. Not 100,000, 100 million every month in business. So they're very, very serious about our success, and they're putting some things on the table to help us grow our business. You know, we have fantastic products, but also, you know, for the opportunities to generate income, they're putting those incentives and infrastructure in place so that this can be a viable business for all people. So we're really, really excited. So I want to thank you guys for being on the call. This is recorded. So now I'm going to unmute the call and field some questions from each and every one.